Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic, aka Railworks. And today we're going to take a look at a new update from our buddies over at Fourth Gaming. They're the fellas that brought us the Salisbury Railway and the Neilson box tanks. And they have put out a new update to the box tanks, which is fairly substantial. Not all of it we'll be able to see, but a fair bit of it we'll be able to check out. They've made some modifications, added some new liveries, a couple freight items. Real nice list of stuff. So the update brings the total of locomotives and their liveries up to 75. Quite a few. So let's take a look at it. Now, I already did a video on these, so I'm not gonna spend too terribly long going over the individual details and what each locomotive is and such. There's a whole other video on that, but we are gonna go over some of the things that they changed. We'll read the log here, version 1.3, and see what we can notice differently. But I'm going to go ahead and pull the tab out because we are definitely still in the editor here, so you can see visually there's a long list. Most all the versions got some extra skins added, such as Metro Reds, Cambrian Railway, and Goods Green. Now, here's a Cambrian right here. So new schemes such as that have been added for those that wish to really get these locomotives in just about anywhere they so please to have it. There's enough skins available now that it's almost impossible not to find a version for you to be able to use on just about any route you should so care to use it on. And that even includes North America. Now, unfortunately, in the editor we can't see it, but my personal favorite of the lot thus far, the Canadian boxes got a variant with knuckle couplers. So we're going to check out how that looks. I'm actually going to flip that because one of the things I was curious about is how well the knuckle argues with a headlight. Because there are sometimes people make American style locomotives that have a overhanging headlight and forget that the locomotive's got to be able to turn. So let's check that out real quick. Matter of fact, let's add another hopper here on the back so that we can see how well that couples up, because that is it's the big thing with it. If I can find it. Coal hopper. There we go. Bam. God, these models are dated. That's an understatement. Anyway, so the Canadian model got knuckle couplers. All variants got new liveries. As far as what all new liveries, I'm not dead certain. That is what is on Fourth Game's post right now that I am reading. Those are the three that just popped out. Goods Green, Metro Reds, and Cambrian Railway. Let's see. I don't think, however, that I need to be in the editor anymore. So, go ahead and get out of the editor. Hopefully we don't crash. Yay! So, a little bit of the admin stuff first, but Alterations to the manual, updated to reflect the changes. Improved performance. So the folders have been tidied up. Helps with the game itself, especially when you've got multiples of these locomotives and rolling stock and such. It helps keep the performance at a maintainable level without needing a high-end supercomputer to run it. So that's nice. It's very nice. Oh, let's see. Variants of the box model itself have been modified slightly. It does not go into detail what those variations are, so unfortunately I can't point them out. I am not versed enough in this particular type of locomotive to be able to point out, that's definitely different than what it was. So we'll take their word for it. Variations have been updated. Let's see. Continuing on the admin stuff, more than three coaches placed on a route no longer crash when the doors open and close. I don't know if that's something I noticed or not. I don't think I had that issue, but then again, it's Railworks. Some people like me, the game crashes at the hint of too many locomotives more often than not, so no two installs are alike. So that's probably a nice fix for those of you that were having that problem. Rebuild boxes have have had additional model details. Again, doesn't go into a breakdown of what those details are, so I wouldn't be able to sit down and be like A, B, C, D is without a doubt correct. Canadian boxes have a separate knuckle coupling version. We're going to look at that in a second. Decals on locomotives have been updated. Again, we'll have to take their word, because I don't know that there's really a way for me to have dropped the original model and then the updated models next to each other to be able to look at the decals and go, yes, absolutely, these are without a doubt updated. So we'll have to go on their word for that. 3 Salisbury Tramway Company models. They're fictional for the Salisbury route. It's pretty cool. They are not dynamically numbered. They're individually numbered. 5, 6, and 4. With each locomotive having its own little differences to make each one unique, which is pretty cool. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it as far as the admin stuff. So let's get into the part everybody wants to know about. So obviously I just went over. We got a new livery scheme in general, the Salisbury Tramway with 3 different locomotives. We got a tank car, which somehow I goobered and made backwards. My bad. But a converted free plank hopper here that's been turned into a little bit of a little tender. Extends the range. And I don't know if it actually functions as a tender. It's not listed under the locomotives file as a tender, so I think it's just cosmetic. But it's still kind of cool. Something a little bit different. I don't know if it's based on anything in particular. And then we got flat cars with loads. So that's nice. We get log loads and crate loads in both the red and the gray scheme. They're listed as loaded, unloaded, or they're listed as unloaded and then the loads. So I don't think we can load and unload these cars, unfortunately. But still really cool. It gives us, you know, a nice variation with the freight stock that was included with the locomotive. Because unfortunately, this whole route and these locomotives is meant to represent an era that has been very overlooked in Train Simulator. So there's not really any content out there available. I've shown some of the Wayside Works content that would go along fairly well with this pack. That kind of 1830s, 1840s era. Really, that bracket is almost entirely missed in Train Simulator. This is really the first big, you know, Victorian era DLC that we have ever seen for TSC that I know of. So unfortunately there's not a lot of rolling stock out there, but adding some different loaded options for the flat cars really give us a nice variety. So that's nice. I think that's it as far as the wagons. We got a scrap box, which counts as a wagon variant. It's an old dilapidated locomotive. It's got pieces missing. It's got rust. It's blurry. It's old. It's worn out. The platform here looks bent, sagging. This is actually kind of cool. They made the drivers off-centered, which is really nice. I know sometimes when people do dilapidated locomotives, they leave the drive wheels like dead centered on. It looks kind of funny because they don't have drive rods. That's pretty cool. In usual fashion, the details are really, really nice per Fourth Gaming quality, with all the bells, buttons, and whistles removed. Very neat. It's kind of cool. It looks like even the valve gear's been removed, but the cams are still there. That's actually really cool. With the exposed cylinders. Very, very neat. Hop back over here into the sunlight. Went over that, went over that, went over that. Both Dutch boxes now have vertical injectors. Not gonna lie, I don't know if I could sit here and point that out. So just look at it, and you guys can see for yourself if you can point it out. And go, there it is. So that's been done. And lastly, the Canadian boxes with their knuckle coupler edition. So let's hop over here to a Canadian locomotive, and look at that. Not quite. You know what's sad is the knuckle model looks better from them than this slightly antiquated Kuju model here that DTG loves to use and reuse 10,000 times. Distance-wise, though, it actually looks pretty good. However, a bit of a noticeable gap there. We got Bluetooth couplings here. Granted, it might glitch together if we backed into this. I know sometimes they, for some weird reason, like to stretch out. But the couplers themselves actually look pretty good. Now it just adds knuckle couplers. That's all that's been done. No brake lines and whatnot. Because, truth be told, I don't believe this locomotive has. It's got a handbrake. So quite nice indeed. I like it, I like it. You know what? Let's go operate for a little bit, because why not? I haven't got to play around with these in a little bit. That's pretty much everything on their list that they have done that is listed anyway. There might be more, again, without having the original manual and original models to be able to sit down and go, you know, boom, boom, compare and contrast. It's kind of hard for me to be like, absolutely, this is what's different. Such is life, you know. There's not much I can do about that. But this brake's not want to play. Let's see. Track's done. Cool. We got injector, firebox. There it is. I don't know what's with this bouncing. It's kind of interesting. That firebox, a nice glow. Firebox color changes though. What firebox? Yeah, we'll let it get fine. Oh, step too far. We'll say it would. A little bit irked that the notches aren't quite lined up for the reverse gear. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but oh, that was what I did. My bad. Tender coal level, 1,000 pounds. Tender water level, 500 gallons. Wow, wild limb and say that ain't 1,000 pounds of coal. So it might actually count that. I don't know. Would have been nice to see like some little hoses or something. Even if they were pre-placed, just, hanging out from under the locomotive. I get that if you do that, then you're kind of stuck with the car being kind of painfully noticeable whenever it's not hooked up to a locomotive, though, so it's not heartbreaking. Oh goodness. Usual fashion. Computer stutters just a little bit. I have to forgive it. It's an older computer. It's been quite some time since I could afford to update and upgrade. Coming up on our stop here, it looks like. So we'll go ahead and come up here and call it cool. Because, as I said, I've done a video on this locomotive already. So there's no real point to just sitting here and going across the entire route. But yeah, it's a nice update. It's pretty cool that, you know, we got a dev that very openly shows what they're doing, what they plan on doing, and maintain support for their already released stuff. I've been a fan of Fourth Gaming for a while. They have proved to be phenomenal DLC builders, so I highly recommend checking this pack out if you haven't already. If you don't already have it, definitely need to have it. So definitely go check it out. Go ahead and start coming to a slow. Of course, the route itself is the Salisbury Tramway Company. I believe it's available on Steam Sound Supreme. So yeah, I misjudged that stop by a mile. That's okay. But if you don't have it, definitely go check it out. It is awesome. Nicely simulated. Just a real fun little dinky little locomotive. So definitely go check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next time.